Oh, the memories that I have. Me and my grandpa, we were pals. We had so much fun together. I remember my parents would let me stay over his house out in the countryside for at least a month every year. Grandpa taught me about the birds and the bees, and he was the one that told me that no really meant yes. Oh, the memories. He would always say things to me like, "If you tell anyone about this boy, I'll kill you and your whole family." I really miss hanging out with Grandpa. He's incarcerated now for murder. But we used to have such a great time. I can remember the basement just like it was yesterday. He'd bring in new victims, usually women, and throw them down these steps right here. I could still almost hear their cries and their pleas. Sometimes they would struggle and try and make it back up the steps. Grandpa would usually just shoot him in the back with a nail gun. That would stun him pretty good. He always was a smart one. Sometimes we would hang him from these chains. Oh, how they screamed as they were hanging from the ceiling, about to be cut up into little pieces, tortured, and then murdered. He'd usually have one of them laid out on the table. What I loved about Grandpa is he would let me choose which tool to dismember their body parts with. There were so many choices, I would get so excited, I wouldn't know what to use. I can still hear the sounds of those helpless victims, limbs being severed with saw blades and whatnot. Grandpa always was a crazy son of a bitch. Sometimes, if I was a good little boy and did what Grandpa told me, he'd give me some beer and then let me look at his Playboys. Grandpa was very unpredictable. You never knew how he was going to dispose of the bodies. Sometimes we'd put them in this old oven and just burn them to ashes. But other times, we'd take them into the woods and we'd dig a big, deep hole. Sometimes bury them. Grandpa would save the eyeballs and ears and nipples of some of his murder victims, and he'd have me store them in these jars. I can still hear the sounds of those poor helpless women pleading for their life. Kind of made me laugh. They actually thought that they were going to get away, or that they were going to be able to talk Grandpa out of doing what he was doing. He always was so hard-headed. Grandpa always told me if I was a good little boy and cleaned up all the bones, flesh, and some blood, that he'd take me out for ice cream. The summer of '84, I can remember it like it was yesterday. I always did want to follow in Grandpa's footsteps. After all, he showed me the ropes. Looking back on everything now, I kind of realized that what we did was wrong. But hey, it was a learning experience and some of the funnest times of my life. Grandpa, you will be missed.